Hi, Leo. Welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your mid-October 2025 love reading. Thank you to those of you who have liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's what I call the Bridge of the Gap spread. And the way it works is we'll look at the past, present, and future energies between you and the main love interest. Then we'll pull some oracle cards to help with the Bridge and the Gap dynamic. As far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, on the right side we have the Romantic Tarot. And also keep in mind it's a general reading, so I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left as your energy and the cards on the right as the other person's. If you feel it's your way around in your situation, then definitely trust that. Alright, so with all that out of the way, we'll get started. Past energy on your side, we have the Ten of Staves. So this is Sagittarius energy here, and for some of you, this could just be saying you might have been feeling a little bit overwhelmed and possibly burdened in the past. Now, I do have to say, seeing this right off the bat to me says that for a lot of you, this is someone that you're already in a relationship with versus someone that you're trying to get things off the ground with. But yeah, I feel like this is the same for a lot of you. You might have just been feeling burdened within the connection. And I guess for a smaller percentage of you, this could just be saying that when you cross paths with this person, if you weren't already in a connection with them, could just be saying you might have had a lot on your plate to where you couldn't give much to the connection. Alright, past energy on their side, we have the Page of Cups. So yeah, so this is someone who probably just has a more light-hearted approach to things. They probably mean well, but at the same time, I feel like if you're in this Ten of Wands situation, someone coming along with this Page of Cups, energy probably isn't the ideal thing that you'd be looking for, right? So it looks like there could have been a clash as far as those energies go. Present energy on your side, we have the Five of Arrows. So this is Aquarius energy here, and that's your opposite sign of relationships. So what I'm getting from this could just be saying that maybe because you're feeling overburdened, overwhelmed, right? It could lead you to maybe address the situation with this person in a less than healthy way. So maybe you just let this all boil over, and then it finally blows up, right? Where you might, come at them with just a pretty harsh way of communicating, right? Because you bottle these things up for a while and now they just come out unexpectedly. So I feel like this is just warning you to be on the lookout for that. I will say that you guys have Pluto in these degrees of Aquarius, and it's actually about to start direct motion soon. So could just be pointing to that when you feel that shift there, because that's an energy where you might feel a little bit overly controlling when it comes to that area of your life, and it might not always come out in the most healthy way. Present energy on their side, we have the Strength card. So this is actually the Major Arcana card for Leo. And if we look at the artwork here, this is pretty much very similar to the traditional artwork for the Strength card. And then we see this person almost pulling at it, right? So I feel like this is a similar thing where they could just be, again, because they have a more lighthearted mentality toward things, they might be like, oh, what's up with Leo? They might be trying to draw out a more playful side of you. But again, like if you're just feeling overwhelmed and overburdened already, right, then not the best timing for that kind of approach. So at the very least, it looks like there needs to be some communication around the situation. But until that happens, you might just keep running into these energies clashing. All right. And in the near future position on your side, we have the Seven of Coins. So this is Taurus energy here. And that does remind me of the fact that the next full moon that we're going to have in early November will be in Taurus. So could be pointing to a timeline there. But that aside, I feel like this is saying that, yeah, you might just ultimately feel like there's a disconnect between the two of you. You might feel like there's a gap in maturity, right? So yeah, like I said, if you're taking a more serious approach to things and you feel like this person has a more lighthearted, playful approach, right? Maybe you even might have liked that in the beginning, but now you're like, okay, it's time to get a little bit more serious here, right? So it could just be one of those things where you're having your doubts as to whether you want to continue to build on this connection with this person. Right. And future energy on their side, we have the Ten of Wands. So interestingly enough, we see it in the past on your side, and we see it in the future on their side. But yeah, so for some of you, this could just be saying that maybe they will ultimately be willing to pick up the slack once the two of you have some communication around it. But yeah, if that's the case, I feel like this is saying you still might feel like there's a disconnect there, even if they do. But at the very least, there's some potential for a shift there. So maybe things do blow up and come out in an unhealthy way. Maybe on the other side, that there could be some improvement to the situation. But if it just feels like shifting all the burden from one side to the other, right, then that's not ideal either. So it's definitely an interesting dynamic, but it might require some work at the very least to get through it. All right, bottom of the deck on your side, we have the Three of Coins. So yeah, so the Three of Coins or Three of Pentacles, depending on the deck, usually points to an energy of collaboration, building something long-standing. And with this deck, despite it being a love deck, this is interesting how it's just one person, right? If we look at their facial expression, get it to zoom in and focus. Well, if it cooperates, you'll see that they don't actually look that happy, and we see them alone, right? So again, I feel like this is coming back to the same theme I was saying there, where you might feel like you're ultimately the one doing all the work, all the heavy lifting in the connection, right? And feeling disappointed around that, especially if you was hoping for this person to help you build, right, in the connection. So that could be what you're feeling there. All right, and bottom of the deck on their side, we have the Lovers, so Gemini energy here. So yeah, again, like I said, they just might have this more romanticized, lighthearted vision of things, which sure, they could be healthy at times, right? But again, like I said, if you're just overburdened and overwhelmed, you know, ideally the person would be able to shift gears and see that and be able to pick up the slack. So, but yeah, like I said, it looks like there just needs to be some healthy communication around it before it comes out in a manner more like this. But that's why I see with that. We'll see what the Oracle cards add to the mix, though. First, we'll see what we get from the Messages of Love Oracle card deck. I'm just going to give this a few shuffles. Okay, and we'll take this card here. And next, I'll do the same thing with the Wisdom Oracle deck. So, just going to give this a few shuffles now. Alright, and we'll take this card, get this out of the way, and we'll take a look at the Messages of Love first. Alright, we have Twin Flame. It says this is a divine counterpart connection. Interesting message there. Personally, I tend to refrain from using that term, but at least I could explain the annoying energy playing out between the two of you. I'll just leave it at that. From the Wisdom Oracle, we have Blessed. There we go. There's the artwork. And the number is 22. Let's see what this has to say. All right. The relationship message says you are moving toward a deepening of intimacy and a unique and sacred partnership. You know you are meant to make this connection. This union, blessed by the divine, will bring transformation and beauty to the world. This is also a sign that, even more important, you're being called to a deeper intimacy with yourself and spirit. With this new development, you will see evidence of grace in your life. See, an interesting message there, the part about call to a deeper intimacy with yourself and spirit. The self-reliance, right, as far as deeper intimacy with yourself, seems to be a factor here because, like I said, you might feel like this person's not really contributing to the situation right now. And then the part about spirit brings me back to this artwork here where we see this angelic figure, right, and it almost looks like they're flying away with that Five of Arrows energy, which to me would say, again, goes back to what I was saying, that, yeah, I feel like you do need to address this dynamic, right, and let them know, hey, kind of feeling a little bit overburdened here with the way things are currently. I feel like as long as you could express it in a more healthy way, you would have some backing to get some improvement there. But if not, of course, it could backfire, right? But hopefully that resonates with you guys. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you all next month. All right.